On behalf of the Starter Academy, I would like to welcome you to the presentation. We are going to be talking about from idea to blog business and how you can start smart with it today. Let's start off by introducing myself in case you don't know me. I'm Mike Johnson. I am the owner and creator of the Starter Academy. Some of you are just meeting me for the first time. Others of you have known me since we've done Blog Optimize, since we have done my many mentor coaching groups. Some of you know me from as way far back as the Autoblog Blueprint, Profit Marketer, and also my WP Social days with Daniel Vassar and all the WP Social WordPress plugins that we created. But now in this endeavor, I'm looking to help you move ahead from the beginning and take all the steps you need to create a long-term business, not just something that's kind of fly-by-night or based on a gimmick or a technique that's only short-lived. We're looking at long-term profits with this. So I'm going to jump into things here. I'm going to talk first about what you need to get started, the things that you need to know before you can say, okay, I want to turn my idea into a blog. I know that I want to create a business out of this, but I really don't know what to do. Well, a big part of that is understanding what you need. And part of that are what I call the 5 essential elements of an online business. It's what your new business needs for success. And it all starts with a product. And let me counter this real quick with the fact that a product can be many things. And if you are just starting off as a blogger and you don't have your own, digital product, you don't have your own physical product, you don't have anything to start with, an affiliate product or affiliate products, plural, can be your product. The content on your site can be your product when you're starting off because it can be used to generate tons of traffic. There's tons of sites out there, viral sites out there that do nothing but generate new content every day. And some of it's not, very big or very dramatic, but it grabs people's attention, and these sites make money through advertising. So when you think of a product, that's something you need to think about when you're coming up with your idea. Your product is your first and foremost need. Before you ever even think about, well, what am I going to post about, whatever, we got to think about how we're going to make money from our idea right from the very beginning. And part of that is understanding that we also have an audience. So these are people that are interested in what we're going to sell. If we don't know that people or have any interest in what we're about to do, then we're wasting our time. So it's important that we start off, with a solid foundation of having a product idea, whether it's our own or not. We're going to promote multiple affiliate products, or we're going to generate money just through advertising on our site. There's tons of sites that do this in blogging, and that's fine, but you have to have people that are interested in what you're doing. And we're going to talk more about that and how you figure that out. Obviously, you need a website, and that's where having your own blog comes into play. And then it's important when you're running a 24-hour a day internet-based business that you have automated systems in place to run your business for you while you sleep. And believe it or not, this is easier than it sounds. It's very, very easy. And lastly, you got to be able to deliver that product. So all in all, the things I've talked about here are pretty easy. It's not earth-shattering. It's not groundbreaking. It's pretty easy stuff. You just have to know how to put all this together. And part of that is understanding the customer buying journey and how it applies to blogs specifically. We talk about when we talk about a blog, it's a very simple process. Somebody that is out surfing Google, or they're on Facebook or Pinterest or one of these sites, and they click a link that brings them to your website. They go from being an unknown user to now a site visitor. They then find something on your site, and this is an essential part of this, which we'll get into later, something that entices them to become your subscriber. Call them lead magnets or content upgrades or whatever. It's a free gift that you give them. Most people these days, just because you ask them to join your newsletter, aren't going to just join your newsletter. People get enough email already. Unless you have a site that's filled with earth-shattering, groundbreaking content, people are not going to just subscribe to you just to subscribe. You have to have something that you're giving them that is worth them putting their email address in a form and clicking, yes, I want to subscribe so I can get this free guide, this free checklist, whatever. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this later as well. But this is something you have to think about in this process. And as that goes on, your subscribers then become your customers. Ultimately, that is the part that we want to happen. If you look at this funnel here on the screen where it says unknown user and it goes back to customer, you can see it starts off really big at one end and it gets smaller at the other end. Well, that's on purpose. That's because you start off with a lot of unknown users who are turning into visitors, and those who subscribe and become your leads or subscribers, and then ultimately become your customers. That number goes down and down and down to a very small, highly targeted group. And when you understand that this is the process that almost 100% of businesses on the web use in some shape or form to run their business, from salespeople to you go to Mashable, different higher end websites. Everybody is looking outside of social media sites. Everybody is looking to give you something, whether it's something as subtle as you doing a quiz or something like that. They are an intelligence test, or who's your favorite rock star, or what was your favorite movie, and you add your email address in there. That's all part of the process. So understanding this along with those other essential elements allow you to say, okay, I have an idea. How do I turn that idea into this? And we're gonna get down in the weeds on this here a little bit to try to make that clear. Okay, first off, we have to clarify something, and we're going to talk about this. Is it an idea or is it a dream? And an important part of turning your ideas into a blog business is understanding, what you think is a great idea and something you're dreaming of doing isn't necessarily a great idea. It might be a great idea to you, but it's not necessarily a great idea for a business. So we have to go through processes to figure that out, figure out what's an idea, what we can validate and turn into an actual blog business. And it all starts with you. Let's talk about you for a minute. When we talk about turning your ideas into a blog business, the first thing you have to talk about is, what are you passionate about? What skills do you have that you're not applying right now? What things are you good at? And the key thing here is you don't have to be an expert to take an idea and turn it into a blog business. When I started off with my businesses on the web, I knew absolutely nothing about blogging, and yet blogging became my core business. Teaching people how to blog became my core business. I did it by actually using blogs to make money myself and coming up with my own techniques and things that worked. And when I did that, I was able to have people actually ask me to create courses. And that's how I actually started transitioning from making money through blogs on my own into actually teaching people how to do this stuff. But it also takes motivation. You have to be motivated to do it. If you have to drag yourself to the computer every day to run your business, then it's going to fail. And just because you love something doesn't mean it's going to work. Because you're passionate about it doesn't mean it's going to work. But you have to have that core part of you that really, really wants to dive in and attack it and create a business from something. If you're sitting here struggling with trying to figure out what you want to turn into a business, take a step back and say, okay, what do I like to do? What did I do this week? What am I looking forward to doing? It can be something as simple as you're good at doing maintenance around the house. There's plenty of blogs out there about mom bloggers. There's plenty of blogs out there about people teaching people to sew they're only learning sewing stitches before they do the video to show you how to do it themselves. So if you can teach yourself to do something, you can turn that into a blog business. If you have opinions about things like movies, games, products, you can turn that into a business. So there are so many avenues that you can take from a small snippet of an idea and turn it into a business. But the core element of this is that you have to want to do it, and you have to have the spirit and drive to move forward with it. Now, with every idea you come up with, you have to weigh the pros and cons of that idea and what makes an idea bloggable. First off, it has to have the niche that you're getting into, as we call it, the subject that you're going to blog about, has to have enough core subject matter that it can stand the test of time. It can either be evergreen, which means that you can create a blog post, and that one blog post can satisfy thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are coming to visit your site. I'll give you an example. Right now on my blog here at the Starter Academy, I only have about 12 blog posts, if it's that many. I think it's like 12 blog posts. I have to go back and check. Earlier this year, I had about 7. And 2 of those blog posts are my pillar content posts. And in the training, we talk about creating pillar content. But pillar posts drive a lot of traffic. And from that single blog post, one of my blog posts, which might be the reason you're listening to this right now, is How to Start a Blog, the Ultimate Step-by-Step Guide. That blog post has generated over 6,000 subscribers to my blog this year. That one post alone. Another one I have that's a WordPress SEO beginner's guide post has driven approximately 3,500 subscribers to my blog this year. In fact, most people don't go beyond those posts after they read them because they're so long, over 4,000 words each. And because of that, that content can drive traffic, subscribers, and ultimately sales over and over again. Does your niche that you're getting into, your idea, have enough evergreen content, enough content that you can create that it satisfies users for not just days or weeks, but months and possibly years? So when you think about that, don't think that I got to constantly create new content. The days of having to post new blog posts every single day is gone. We don't have to do that anymore. We focus 20% of our time on creating content on our site and 80% of our time promoting our content and driving traffic to our content. So the focus for you needs to say, hey, what are the pros versus the cons for this business? Is this business idea monetizable? Can I make money with it? Can I sell products through it? Can I sell advertising through it? Can I sell space on my blog to other bloggers who want to post on my blog? Is it going to be social media friendly? Is it going to be something that I need to create a lot of video for because it's a video centric idea? And say, okay, how much time does that take versus the cons of it? Well, this really is a very niche idea. Only a small group of people are really into it. They love it to death, but there's not just a huge group of people that like this stuff. It really, none of the products look like they can make a lot of money, and there's only a couple products that really get covered in this idea. So maybe I should look at something else. So you got to think of all those things before you dive into this and say this idea is a bloggable idea. Then, as I said, there's 2 paths you can choose from. One is dreams and the other is the reality of what your idea can actually produce for you. And when you know that, when you know what your idea can actually turn into, that helps you take that idea and transform it into a realistic business. A lot of people start off, confused, unclear, lost. When you have an idea that you don't have a foundation for or trust, you're constantly hoping things work instead of taking the other path, which is faster, more structured, and simpler, because you're confident in knowing that your idea is valid and it has potential. These things are important to know before you get started. Okay, we have 4 idea success factors. Success factors and what makes an idea great. And the success factors are, first and foremost, in knowing what I am going to sell. When you know what you're going to sell, then you're stepping in the right direction. What am I going to give away? What am I going to use to get people to subscribe to my blog that gets them to buy the product that I want to sell? This is important success factor. What kind of content am I going to create that people are going to want to go to, that's going to make them come to my blog, read my content, take what I'm going to give away, and ultimately buy what I'm going to sell? So you see here, there's 3 items here, but I said 4 idea success factors and what makes an idea great. And with all those things, each one of them has an equal amount of importance. But the thing that really drives all of this is what I call the number 1 success factor. And that's who wants what I'm selling. When people want what you're selling, then you can sell it. It's just a matter of getting the product in front of them. When you can get your product in front of people that are looking for what you have to offer, and understand that when you talk about selling, all you have to do is, people have a couple core things that make them buy. It's they have a pain, they have a need, a desperate need, or just a need, or they have a want. It's some kind of burning desire, and it can be for anything. Talk about blogs that talk about how to fix problems. Problem-solving websites, answers websites are huge in driving traffic because people are always looking for answers. Even now, Google has turned to a question and answer centric model. So if you can identify what people want and need in your idea, you can sell. And that's the core of success on the internet, is not just creating, blog posts and content from ideas you have, but solving problems with those blog posts and your ideas, and or giving people what they want. And you say, well, what about games and entertainment and stuff? Well, that's a core desire. People have a desire, they want to be entertained. Those things apply in any shape or form. There's so many different ways you can apply this. So understand that you just have to have it. And are people searching for my idea? Are they looking for what my idea is? Are they looking for the keywords associated with my idea? If people are searching for it and people are looking for that answer that I'm talking about, then ultimately they are going to, be interested in a website like yours. And don't worry about competition. Now, you don't want to go into something like, say my niche idea is I want to blog about fitness. Well, you have to have some kind of unique path that's going to set you apart from other people. You just can't say, well, I'm going to create a blog about fitness and I'm going to succeed. Well, you have to do something that's niched down and kind of into the core of a bigger niche, because when you get into a high competition area where it's just flooded with people that are in businesses that are higher end businesses that you can't get through the first 3 pages of Google until you get it to a smaller site, then that idea is probably not a good one either. So how do we research this? There's a couple key things that I do to make sure when I'm trying to see if my idea is worth turning into a blog business. And that's I go through a process of validating my market fit to make sure that it's a valid idea. And even then, sometimes, we don't have a perfect idea, and your ideas kind of change over time, and that's fine. Your blog can start one way, and it can morph to another as you see the market move in that direction. So I make changes to my businesses all the time because of changes in the environment, changes in people's wants and needs. I make changes constantly, and so don't be afraid of change. So the first thing I look at are businesses advertising on Google in my niche. Are there, before I ever even start looking at at keywords and seeing what people are searching for, I say to myself, are business advertising on Google in my niche? And they don't have to be advertising for it to be a profitable niche, but it is a key indicator. If people are spending their advertising dollars on an idea, then it's probably worth looking into. We talk about the second thing here is, does keyword research tell me I can get over 10 to 15,000 visitors per month? So if I go into Google AdWords keyword tool, and which is free, by the way, if you haven't used it before, you can get links to it inside the free part of the Starter Academy, or just Google it and you can create an AdWords account for free and use their keyword planner tool. And that keyword planner tool will type in your ideas, and you're going to be able to see what people are searching for based on your ideas' main words. And you're going to get ideas for other words that are associated with your idea as well. And it's going to tell you if a lot of people are searching for that. Now, if it's overburdened and they tell you it's massive high competition, it's something you probably want to stay away from. But if there's smaller niche ideas inside that niche, you can get great ideas for a new blog doing that as well. And we can do more of that later if you guys want to at the end of the presentation. So you look at the third thing, are over 500,000 people interested in my idea on Facebook? Well, the Facebook has what's called Facebook Audience Insights tool. And even with the things going on with Facebook, you can still go into the Insights tool and see if people are interested in your idea by just typing in those words related to your idea and seeing how many people are fans of fan pages, like what you're looking at, an overall interest. You can see demographics and things like that. So that gives you an idea. And lastly, as far as products, we want to look at places like Amazon.com, ClickBank, JVZoo, ShareASale. All these places are affiliate marketplaces where you can look to find products that businesses are allowing you to promote for them for a commission, so you make money from these affiliate sales. And when there's affiliate products that can make you money that are quality, and the key word here is high quality affiliate products related to your idea. If there are solid products that you can use to promote on your blog and sell, that you can put your personal branding and your reputation on, then if you can find products like that you're willing to sell and put your reputation behind, then those are definite products that you can use to build a blog with. Okay, so you can see here, it's not really difficult to do this. It just can take some time, but this is a way that you can definitely say, okay, I have an idea, and now that I've looked at these things, I can see that I can really, take my idea and turn it into a business. And next thing is, are people talking about it at all? Facebook graph search, if you just type into Facebook search box and type your idea in there a couple different ways, and you can see posts, pages, songs, events, videos, you name it. You can see if people are showing interest in what you're talking about. Twitter, same thing. Pinterest is a great place to search and look to validate ideas and see if people are already doing what you want to do, and you can get ideas of ways that you want to do it from Pinterest as well. Not just seeing ways to teach people blogging, which I highly I do not recommend trying to create blogs about blogging. It is a very, very highly competitive niche. And of course, will people pay for it? With whatever you're creating. And you're the seller, you're saying, I have what you need, and the buyer is saying, I need what you have. If people are willing to pay for what you are offering, that is the best incentive to create a blog. If products are already out there, similar to a product that you want to create yourself, you want to create your own product, and there's similar things out there and people are already paying for it, then you know the market's there. It gives you that pathway to success. And obviously part of this, one of the things that we talk about immensely in the whole blog creation process is, what is your customer avatar? And when you know who your customer is, that seals the deal on the things you have to do. Because when you create content, you can speak to this avatar. You can literally create content like you're talking to your target, audience. You say, okay, who is the kind of person that wants my content, needs what I'm selling, and loves how I do it? Then you'll know who your potential customer is. You look at things like their background, their interests, occupation, motivation, family, their age, their gender. All those things make a difference. Where they're from, if you're targeting Europe, you're targeting Africa, you're targeting Asia, you're targeting the United States or Canada or South America. All these different places have different people with different needs and different things that they want and different ways that they want it, and understanding how they talk and how they look at that niche is a huge part of taking your idea to market. When you know who your customer is, you can sell so easily, it's crazy. So let me talk about your blog itself. What does your blog have to have when you create a blog? And we talked about this already, and we're going to talk about kind of that flow of it again. We talked in the beginning. We need, when you create your blog, you need to have content that makes people want to visit. You need to have lead magnets, something free that you're going to give away that make people become your subscriber. I'm going to show you examples of this here in a couple minutes. And those lead magnets then become subscribers. And subscribers not some fly-by-night visitor. A subscriber is now somebody who's on your mailing list and a loyal member of your mailing list who loves what you have and what you have to sell and how you sell it. Your personality is something they want to be around when they're on the web. They want to answer your emails. They want to read your Facebook posts. They want to see your Twitter tweets because of what you're producing and how you're doing it. Sometimes just letting your personality shine through can really go a long way to making your blog work. And of course, most importantly, you need to be selling something, whether that is advertising or affiliate products or your own products or a combination of all three, which you can do. There are tons of different monetization models. You can sell services if you want. Your product can be a service that you're providing. You're creating graphics. You can create graphics for people. You can create videos for people. The list is endless of what you can do. How-to guides for people, whatever your skill is that you can take and turn into a blog. This is a very simple path that you can take. And we talked about this in the beginning, understanding the customer buying journey and taking them from that initial blog post to becoming a subscriber to buying what you're selling, whether it's your own product or not, is the basic tenets of making money through blogging. It's very, very easy if you know how to take the steps. And I'm going to take a quick look here. Let me change things over a second. and throwing myself up on the screen. Hello everyone, from my dungeon office here in York, Pennsylvania. So, hello, good evening. And I still have that Facebook page up, so let me change this. And let me pause for just a second. Can everybody still hear me? Everybody still watching? Can I get a comment or two? Just let me know that you can hear me still. All right, we're going to continue on. And one of the things that I wanted to show you was just taking you to my blog. And I said I don't have a ton of blog posts on this blog. This is one of about 40 blogs that I have right now. Quite a few of my blogs have writers for those blogs that take care of creating my content. In fact, all of them except for two. I create content for two blogs, this blog and one other. And what I've discovered is having core content that can drive traffic is more important than creating a ton of content. And this blog post here has done that for me immensely. Now, things that I do is I continue to create things that will drive traffic, create that core content. One here on the side here is my ultimate guide to starting and growing an online business with a blog. Still under construction, only 3 chapters into what's probably going to be about 6. But here on the blog post here, as I scroll down, the thing I want to show you is, while this is a huge blog post, I have here content upgrades. I say download this post as an ebook and take it with you so you can start a blog at your own pace. We talk about giving things away for free to get people to subscribe. One of the simplest ways you can get people to subscribe after you've created a blog post is to make a copy of that blog post and turn it into a PDF. You can do this with Microsoft Word. There's other free tools out in the web that let you do this. We have software here that if they click this, a pop-up comes up and allows them to subscribe, and I send it to them automatically through my email marketing service provider, Drip. And that's just one. And then I have others on this page. I have different methods, exit pop-ups that come up, and it is as simple as that. It's just about finding that core content that you want to create with your blog. And when you go in and you do research to find if your blog idea is valid, you can see the keywords people are searching for. When you know what people are searching for, you can really take things to the next level. And you see here, I'm coming back here to this, and one thing here I said about the Facebook search here, and say if I typed in something as simple as sewing, you can see here in Facebook, I can see there's different sewing things, right? That gives me a huge amount of, ideas or for places going and seeing people that are interested in sewing. And see here, sewing for beginners. If I click on that, you can see here all the groups, all the thousands of members, 61,000 members in that group, 9.9 thousand, not quite as many in that one, but 34,000 like this, 20,000 like this. You can really just get through Facebook almost by itself. You can find incredible validation in a blog idea to make sure that it has potential to work. It really, really does give you that confidence going in that validation in a blog idea. Make sure that it. I had to turn on the mute button, guys. Sorry. So you can almost see me double here. The potential you can find just from Facebook. Twitter, you can do the same thing. Google, obviously you can do the same. As I talked about, Google is great for this. If I go into Google and I type in, I go back to the sewing for beginners, you can see that different things pop up there. But even look, beginner's sewing course, day 1 YouTube video pops up. You can see people also ask. These questions here are great to learn about validation for a niche when the question and answer box is here. You look here and you see if it's big sites that are here or if it's smaller sites. If it's saturated with your name brands and stuff, the niche is probably too heavy. And places you can find additional content for your blog and different ideas are down here in the related searches. And you can search and search and search through different things with this in Google and just get a huge amount of idea validation just from basic Google searches to see if your ideas are valid. And of course, when you go to Amazon, one of the biggest things in Amazon to see if, I'm just clicking on a random product here, is reviews on products. If there's only a couple reviews, you see here 10 unanswered questions. Get this out of the way. You see down here in actual, and this is one of the big techniques that some big names really use. As you go down in the reviews for products that are in your niche that you're saying, oh, I'd like to promote that product on my blog. Well, take a look at, and this isn't really giving me good comments here, but take a look at the comments and take a look at the questions and answers up here and see what people's needs are and wants. If they're saying, man, I really need something that will do this and I can't find it, that gives you great ideas for, blog posts, for ideas for developing your own products, that things that will see what the needs and wants of customers are right here from the question and answer section in Amazon and down in the actual reviews to see what people are complaining about or people are saying is great. It gives you ideas for where to go with your blog idea. So coming back now, and that brings us back here to the customer buying journey where we started off in the beginning. We were talking about all the things that you need to take your idea and turn it into a blog business. We've taken you through all the steps of validating that idea. And now when you've gone through these steps, I want you to revisit this and say, okay, now that I've gone through all this, I can see myself creating blog posts because I know the kind of possible content that's out there. I know I've checked out other websites, I've done some research, and I can see things that are being given away. I can create my own lead magnets, I can get subscribers, and I can definitely identify and or create my own products to take people the whole way through the buying journey and have a profitable blog. So once you can do that, once you can say all that, then you're on the road to success. So that brings us to the end of the presentation tonight. Thank you for joining us, and I appreciate your time, and the best of luck to you. I will see you on the inside.